Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Ing, a Korean romance from 2003 that stars Su-jeong and Rae-won. Min-ah is a young woman who has been reserved and aloof to the world as a result of her chronic illness and deformed hand. The film quietly portrays the unconventional yet endearing relationship between Min-ah and her mother Mi-sook. It also shows Min-ah's development as she is befriended by a high-spirited and carefree photographer, Young-jae, who moves into their apartment complex. Now, I've been meaning to cover this movie for years now on this channel, but it was very difficult to find for basically a handful of years. Fortunately, it has become more readily available in recent times, so I'm taking the opportunity to review it. Now, as I mentioned, Su-jeong is our lead actress. Possibly my favorite Korean actress of all time. I mean, she's definitely up there. And much of that is due to her talent, but much of that is also due to her choice of films. From 2003 to 2012, I mean, she was basically on a hot streak. She made movies like A Tale of Two Sisters, which is my favorite film of all time, Ing, Sad Movie, Lump of Sugar, I'm a Cyborg, But That's Okay, Happiness, Wu Chi, Come Rain, Come Shine, and All About My Wife. And that's a pretty solid resume. And even though her more recent stuff has not been quite as entertaining as her earlier films, I still watch everything that she's in, at least the stuff that I can find. And she's the centerpiece of Ing. And she establishes a very strong likability for the lead character that greatly enhances the film. You know, this girl is rather reserved in terms of her interactions with other people. She does have a terminal illness, and she's self-conscious about a physical problem with her hand. So she basically limits most of her interaction to her mother, who she lives with, of course. Fortunately, though, she opens up a bit when she meets the new guy who moves into the apartment. Now, Rae-won is a good actor. I covered him when I reviewed the K-drama Gourmet a while back. But again, the heart of this movie is Su-jeong. Another thing that I really like about this movie is that it does not focus too much on the terminal illness aspect. You know, sometimes these terminal illness films, you get tons of scenes in the hospital with the person in really rough shape, and they really bleed that melodrama out of it. This movie doesn't do that. You know that it's there, like that theme and that situation, but it's frequently kind of in the background for much of the film. You know, all of the focus is on our characters, not the illness itself. It also avoids going too far into that melodramatic territory. There are practically no scenes in a hospital. I think there's just a few. And the script writing chooses to create emotion through happy moments instead of harping on the misery and suffering. And the bonds between these characters are developed through the dialogue and even some humor. There's more humor in this film than you might expect. There are some legitimately funny moments, especially during the first hour. You know, actually, some scenes will feel like it's oh man, this is going to turn into a serious moment. But then the film subverts it, and it becomes a humorous scene, and it actually works. And I think that really helps the film. You know what I mean? It gives it a balance. And it makes it enjoyable to watch. This is actually legitimately entertaining. It's rather breezy and easy to sit through, given the premise for sure. Now, I do get a little teary-eyed near the end. I do. But it feels natural. It doesn't feel like it's being, forced on you too much. I like how the film is shot as well. You know, right from the start, we get some engaging visuals, like a brief time-lapse photography scene in a classroom, which is pretty neat. And it gives some communication as to how the character lives their life. You know what I mean? What's going on in their life. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. Or rewatched it, but I think it holds up. Very good film. It's not if you go into this expecting a deep character study, you might be disappointed. But, you know, it's not that complex. It's kind of simplistic. But it's kind of like a wholesome, bittersweet romance film. And it does have its heart in the right place, I think. So I do recommend this one. If you're a fan of the actress or the actor, or you just want a nice, romance film, check it out. It's available on YouTube, actually, now, with subtitles. And there's also a Region A Blu-ray from Korea that you can buy. And as always, we will see you next time.